Hey everyone, I'm Helen and welcome to my channel. Today's class will be a short and sweet yoga class to prepare you for a good night's sleep. One of the most important things when we have issues with our joints is to get that proper relaxation and a good night's sleep, because that's where we access deep healing rest, where our body can restore and repair itself. Props today, maybe a blanket and a block if you have one. If you don't, no worries. We're going to start in child's pose. So bringing the knees as wide as the mat. Big toes are touching. Seat comes down to the heels. Allow the belly to drape between the thighs. You can stack the palms one on top of each other and bring the third eye to the tops of the hands. Or if you like, you can bring the third eye all the way down to the earth. And so have the arms extended in front, maybe the palms facing upwards. And start to settle here, beginning to melt into your mat and letting go. And where your third eye is, the space in the middle of the forehead, start to imagine that this is a drain, and anything that you don't need, anything that you've dealt with today that you just want to forget about, imagine it's draining out through this third eye space, through the mat and into the earth below. Taking a few breaths here, observing the parts of the body that are in contact with the earth, tops of the feet, fronts of the ankles, the shins, the bottom part of the knee, maybe the elbows, the forearms, and the third eye. Allow the breath to be steady. And from here, slowly start to walk the hands to the right of the mat, maybe off the mat. Draping the body across the right thigh and allow the head to come down if that feels okay. Grounding into the left hip, feeling a stretch down that left side body. If you want a little bit more, you can take the left hand and place it on top of the right wrist. Bringing your focus to the left side body, how it feels. Opening up all those little intercostal muscles in between the ribs, expanding your breathing apparatus. Then inhale, gently walk back to the center, and we'll go over to the other side. Maybe starting with both hands on the outside of the left side of the mat. Grounding that right hip to the right heel. And if you want a little bit more of a stretch, the right hand can come on top of the left wrist. Deep breaths. And then gently we return to the midline. Bring the knees together so you're in a narrow-legged child's pose. Hands are in front. On an inhale, slowly come up to a cat pose. As you exhale, allow the hips to drop, coming through a cobra and all the way down to the earth. So you might need to do a little bit of readjustment with the hands and the knees. And then we'll reverse it. Inhale up through a cobra. Start to bring the seat up, rolling into a cat, and then back to a child's pose. We'll move through a few more of these. Inhaling up to a cat, and dropping the hips, coming through a cobra, gently bringing the chest down and the head down. And then inhale, initiating the movement from the upper body, coming up through cobra, rounding through the lower back through a cat, and down to a child's pose. One more. Inhale up to cat. Exhale, allow the hips to dip, bending the elbows, coming through cobra, flat to the earth. Then inhale, come up through cobra, rounding the spine through cat, and seat to heels. Pausing for a moment in this child's pose. And then inhale, we come up to tabletop. Excuse me. Bringing the hands directly underneath the shoulders and the knees underneath the hips. On an inhale, the chest lifts and the belly dips for a cow. And exhale, rounding through to cat. Inhale for cow. And exhale for cat. One more. Inhale for cow. And then exhale for cat. Bring the spine back to neutral, grounding down into both hands. Take the left leg and extend it out to the side. I will face you for this, but you can stay in your position. Grounding the left foot in line with the right knee. And on an inhale, we come up to gate pose. Right hand comes outside. Actually, I keep changing, mirroring. Whatever leg this is, extended, put the hand on it. Inhale the other one up and then lean gently over. That's bad teaching. Breathing into this side stretch. Gently come back up. The hands come back down to a tabletop. And then bring this knee in, and we'll do the second side. So extending the other leg out. Grounding down into the foot in line with that grounded knee. Come up to gate. With the extended leg, put the hand there. The other arm lifts to the sky. And lean over gently for gate pose. Breathe in deep. Breathing into that side waist. Feels so good. Then inhale, gently come back up. The hands come down. Back to tabletop. And we'll make our way onto the seat. Legs are both extended in front. Tall spine. Bring in this left leg in. Heel goes into the groin. And the toe mounds press into the inner thigh. Lengthen out of the waist. Keeping the body directly facing forward. Extended leg is straight and strong with the foot flex. And folding from the hip crease. Coming into Savasana. Spine remains long. And we reach the end of your range of motion. You can start to descend. And this is where your blanket and your block might come in handy. You can pad yourself up and just melt down gently over, allowing the body to release, the mind to release. These forward folds are so calming for the nervous system. We want to bring it down as we prepare for bed, for sleep. We go to bed in a relaxed state. We're more likely to slip away into a deep slumber rather than tossing and turning, worrying about anything that's on your mind. And inhale, lengthen the spine and gently come back up. And we'll do the other side. Bringing this bent leg in, release it long. Maybe just shake out the thigh bones in the hip sockets. Bring in the other leg in, tall spine. Allow it to flop out, bringing the heel into the groin with the toes pressing into the inner thigh. Tall out of the waist, folding from this hip crease, keeping the spine straight. This extended leg is active with the foot flexed. When you reach the end of your range of motion, you can start to descend. You can get your little tower to support you as well, keeping the body facing forward and descending down. Releasing, relaxing, letting go. Noticing if you're tensing any muscles that don't need to be tensed. Normally the jaw. Breathing deep. Long, even breaths. And inhale, gently come up. Place the props to one side. Bring this leg around. Release long. A little bit of shaking in the hips. We'll move into a wide-legged forward fold, so I'll face you. Bringing the legs out. It doesn't matter how wide you get them. Tall spine. You can have them flexed or relaxed. If you have them relaxed, it's more of a yin style posture. Again, folding from the hip crease and coming forward and bringing the hands down. This may be your range of motion, the end of it, and that's fine. I find sometimes when you close the eyes, it makes the pose a lot more softer, allows you to release and let go. And if it's in your body, you may come forward a little bit. If you've got props, you can perhaps put your elbows on there. That brings the floor a little bit closer. And as you sit and simmer in the pose, the body starts to release and let go and relax. It becomes more open. And you may get a little bit more access, a bit deeper. A little bit more surrender in the body. If you have a block, you can even put your forehead on it. When our body melts into props and it feels supported and safe, sometimes it enables us to let go and get a bit deeper in the postures. And then gently come back up. Place the hands underneath the knees. Bring these legs together. We'll come down onto the back. Gently releasing down. Bring the feet just underneath the knees. So your shins are like steeples. Knees to the sky, upper back is wide, and on an inhale, gently lift the hips up. If you have a block, you may do a supported bridge pose, one of my favorites, placing the block at any of the three heights underneath the sacrum, allowing it to take your body weight. Really feel the opening in the hips here at the front. Keeping the upper back wide, maybe the backs of the arms come to the earth. Maybe your eyes are closed, tuning inward to your inner landscape. Noticing how it feels in the body. If you're on the prop, gently release it, rolling down one vertebra at a time, bringing the seat all the way back down to the earth. Pause for a moment here. And then bringing the knees in one by one into a tabletop shape. Arms come to a cactus. And so allow the knees to gently fall over to the left. You can lift the head off the earth, rotate it mid-air, and then release it down to look over the right shoulder if that feels okay on the neck. Breathing into the stretch in the side body. Back to the midline, and then over to the other side. Keeping both shoulders on the earth. Bringing the knees back in. Feet come to the earth. And if you have a block or not, it doesn't matter. If you've got a block, place it underneath the sacrum. We'll come into waterfall pose, Viparita Karani, bringing the knees over the hips and extending the legs up to the sky. You can also do this at a wall. With the legs stacked, you are not really using that much muscle engagement in the legs. Allow the palms to face to the sky and just relax here. So this is one of the best postures to do before bed. It's so restorative. It feels so good. So calming for the body. And if you have a blanket, you can actually bring it around the top of your head and tuck the blanket into the area around the neck. Kind of like a funny looking hat. This can be really soothing to the nervous system. It's a bit hot for me to do it here, but if you're doing this on an autumn evening, it might feel nice. Relaxing, letting go. Enjoying this sense of calm over the body. Thanking yourself for giving yourself the gift of relaxation. Something that it's good to proactively seek every single day. You can stay in Viparita Karani. If you want to move to a traditional Savasana, start to gently come out, bringing the feet down to the earth, removing the prop. Allowing the legs to extend one by one on the earth, feet flop open. Arms are by the side with the palms to the sky, shoulders down the back. Back of the neck is long with the chin slightly tucked. The windows of the eyes are closed. Jaw is relaxed. Mind is relaxed. Crown is relaxed. Allowing the fingers to curl gently towards the heart. And take a few moments here, complete surrender. Savasana. Maybe start to wiggle the fingers and toes. Come into a full body stretch. And when you're ready, just bring the knees in one by one into the chest. Give yourself a little squeeze, maybe a gentle rock side to side. And then in your own time and when it feels good for you, allow the body to come over onto the side for a fetal position. And pause here briefly. And gently push yourself up to a comfortable seat. Bring the palms face down on the knees for grounding. Eyes are closed. I thank you for practicing with me today. Bring the palms to the chest and up to the third eye, to the lips, and back to the heart. Enjoy the rest of your day. I wish you a good night's sleep. Thank you.